Hey guys, Papa here. Um, Heidi has been gone 6 months, and there's not a day goes by that I don't do something, even in the house or at night. I don't do something that she wasn't a part of before she left. I mean, with everything and everywhere I go, no baby, everywhere I go on this place, everything I do, she was always a part of that with me. And baby, go away, go play. Uh, and as much as I love little Woody, and now Buster and Kippy, actually, and they really make your day a lot of times. They keep you a lot of company, but they can never take her place. Woody, stop, Woody. Perfect example. Gets hollered 2 or 3 times. Woody, come back, come on. Anyway, went back. Anybody that don't know the story of Heidi, I'm gonna give you a little quick story. I'm not gonna go into details. If it'd take too long. A lot of folks have joined the page since Heidi. G and I wanted a big dog for the house. We wouldn't shed. We wanted to be smart. We did a lot of research and we come up with a Doberman Pinscher. So then our search began looking. Well, we found a place, a man that raised puppies. He had the parents on premises there and down at the airport. And we went down, and sure enough, beautiful dogs. And all the puppies running around. He brought them in the house. Brought them in out of the room. They kept them in, and the parents. We looked at the parents. Beautiful dogs. The mom looked just like Heidi. The dad was huge. But they brought all the puppies in, several of them. They already sold a couple, and it's running around. And if one went underneath the coffee table, and Jeeve sat across the room from me, and just stared at her eye to eye. And I'm looking at different ones. I said, well, this is a pretty one. We want a girl. And she said, well, if this one's a girl, this is one we need to get. So I checked her, and the girl's okay. That was our Heidi. And she was the best dog, the smartest dog that we've ever had, by far. And showed her to go out for potty. Didn't show her 1 or 2 times, maybe if that, and that they own, And we only had her a few days though, and she got sick with part of it. Supposedly she'd had her shots, but evidently not. Or the shots wasn't any good. The vet said his shots could have been old, or they didn't do them in the right sequence, or whatever. And they didn't give her much chance, about like Ivy. No chance really to make it, unless they give her IVs every 4 hours around the clock to keep her, because part of it causes your organs to dehydrate, I guess you call it that, and then they shut down because the animal won't drink or eat anything. And plus they get the diarrhea, so they dehydrate quick. So they showed me how to do it. I come home and hooked the IV thing on the wall beside my chair. Every 4 hours, I'd take her out of the bathroom. We kept paper on the floor in there in case she had an accident. There wasn't anything going in her. But every 4 hours, I brought her out, sit her in my lap, put the IV tube, needle in her back, underneath the skin in her back, clicked on the little tube and watched it drip down. And we got to a certain level, I cut it off, sanitized my needle, put it away. Love on her for a while because that stuff made her cold because it had to be kept at room temperature. And I'd huddle up with her and warm her up. And when she got warm, she was fine. I'd put her back in the bathroom. On the 5th day, every 4 hours, I went in to get her, and she was drinking. Because I kept fresh water in there and fresh dog food just in case. Canned dog food every morning I'd change. And I was excited. I called the vet and told her, so she's probably going to make it. If she's trying to drink and then she'd taken a bite or two of food, they said she'll probably make it. And she only got better and better as we went. She come like this with me. I mean, everywhere I went, she went. I was still driving a bus, and I'd get up in the mornings to go to work. She got up with me. We'd go out and potty. I'd eat my breakfast, get dressed, and leave. And she'd on the couch. I look back. She'd be looking out the window at me. And when I come home 2 or 3 hours later, she'd be out in the yard waiting for me, or on the porch waiting, excited. Her old tail just going, you know. Bobtail, but her old whole butt be going. And she rode with me everywhere I went. And we went everywhere together. She got mauled, you know, a couple of 2 or 3 years ago, and by a couple of stray dogs up here that's chasing cats, and she run out between my legs. I couldn't stop her. Over the rail she went, and they mauled her. And before I could get to them, they pulled her shoulder, muscles, tendons, ligaments, nerves, all of it just tore apart in her shoulder. Up her shoulder blade, all up in there. 3 different vets we took her to. They couldn't be fixed. So, but she was pretty fast on 3 legs, and it didn't bother her a lot. Then once they, you know, now and then she'd do something, put too much weight on it maybe, and it would hurt her a little bit. But normally she used it just for balance. But she got sick. Several months ago, she developed this urinary infection, and I took her to the vet. They gave her medicine for it, but at the same time, they discovered she had some other issues like Cushing's disease. They said, we'll just treat it, you know, no cure, but we can treat it. But she also had an enlarged heart, we found out, and she began to collect fluid. And so they gave her medicine for that, but it couldn't keep up with the amount of fluid it kept building in her lungs. And they told me, you know, she's not gonna overcome this. There's not nothing they can do. Eventually, it would get too much for her, and she would die. And that broke my heart. So with you, our days were numbered, I guess, and I think she knew it too, and I could tell she was getting weaker. And finally lost her appetite and just wouldn't eat or drink hardly anything, and she got weaker and weaker, and I'd have to help her onto the bed because she always slept with me, and basically help her off when she would need to go out and help her really to get out. And got to where she wouldn't even try to come to bed. She'd just lay there by my chair, so I'd sleep in my chair beside her. And the last morning, I got my arm on her, petting her, and I could feel how she was breathing, and I saw blood coming from her nose. And I got, you know, did all I could do for her. And I was doing some work at the back door, and Jeeve and them were gone. And she's just weak as she could be, but she got up and come out and lay beside where I was working. At a point, I saw she was having such a hard time breathing, I couldn't take it no more, and I knew she was suffering, so I called Bree and I said, Bree, she can't go on no more. She said, I'll take care of all the arrangements, and Bree did. She called me back, said, I've got you an appointment. She told me this time. She said, I'll come over and help you load her, but I couldn't load her. And she says, it's all taken care of, and it was. And I'm not going to go into detail about our last ride to the vet. I think she knew. If I'd have got stopped on the way to the vet that day, I'd have probably thought I was a nutcase, because I was really just. But anyway, we got there and we talked all the way. They were very good there at the vet's office. They met me at the car, at the truck, and they took her in. I went in with them in a little room, and they left me with her for a long time. We had our final goodbyes, and they took care of it. They put her in a coffin, brought her back to my truck, and I brought her home. Where he took care of all the arrangements. And we got home, it was late, and I put her on this table, her coffin, and sit there with her most of the night. The next morning, Bree and Ben helped me build her box to put the coffin in and bury it. And y'all have seen where she's at, right beside the pavilion. And, but I've got some pictures off of some of my videos I will put with this. And for those that never knew Heidi, you can go to my page, you can go back and go to content. You see all the videos I've ever made, and a lot of them, she's probably almost in every one of them. She was an awesome dog, if you want to call her a dog. I called her my partner. More human than a lot of people. So many people sent all these things for her grave. So many people prayed for her. So many people sent such sweet messages and stuff. Got several poems. Elena sent a beautiful poem, but I got several poems from so many different people. But I was sitting one here, if I can read this, and I don't know if I can. Waiting at the door. Then I got some still pictures I'll put with this and get it out to you. This has been 6 months, and I'll probably always miss her. So hang on. All right, I'm gonna try this, okay? I was just a pup when we first met. I loved you from the start. You picked me up and took me home and placed me in your heart. Good times we had together. We shared all life could throw. But years passed all too quickly. And my time has come to go. I know how much you miss me. I know your heart is sore. I see the tears that fall when I'm not waiting at the door. You always did your best for me. Your love was plain to see. For even though it broke your heart, you set my spirit free. So please be brave without me. One day we'll meet much more. For when you're called to heaven, I'll be waiting at the door. I love that poem. Something else about Heidi. She never, ever got angry with these little kids. They crawl on her, pull her ears, pull her nub of her tail. Sit on her. Never got angry with a child. Never growled at a child. Awesome watchdog. She loved everybody here. She loved G, and if I wasn't here, she was her partner till I showed up. Kind of like Woody, like Woody. But she was most precious dog. So I'm gonna put this out. It's not a lot to it. I don't think Heidi would mind not being more. I miss her. She knows it. But anyway, she'll be waiting at the door. A few fun things I gotta mention about Heidi. It was kind of like she slept with me. She slept beside my leg. Heidi weighed 80 pounds, okay, 83, something like that. She got in bed before I did. She took her half and part of mine. I can't count the nights because I'd be taking a shower, she would go up to bed. Or I'd come out of the shower and she's sitting at the bathroom door and right on in the bed while I'm getting dressed. Yeah. I've had to go around on the other side of the bed, get her by her feet because she won't move, and pull her and leave me enough space getting on the other side. And if I moved during the night, she'd raise up and look, see what's going on, if I was okay. If I turned over, she'd look, make sure everything's okay. If I got up, she got up. No matter if I was going to get a drink, go to the bathroom, go see what was going on outside, she's right there with me. Another thing was sometimes we always, when I was driving the bus, we went to bed about 9-ish, 9:30, I say 9:30 or 10-ish, something like that. It seemed like it got to be like she could tell time almost at 9:30. She'd get up and go get on the bed. So that's when I started knowing I had to try to get in bed first. I was going to have to pull. But later on, as she got older and I retired where I didn't have to go to bed so early, so now I stay up late and do comments till my fingers give out. Then I just read them. She'd lay right there on the chair, staring at me, her head on the sofa. I'm about 2 foot from her, my chair, stare. The minute I close my phone up, we're ready, we're going to bed. I remember when she got spaded, they said, don't let her get wet. You know what Heidi meant, that pond down there, this little, her swimming hole, what it meant to her. Always has, even when we first brought her home as a puppy. When she got over her parvo, you couldn't go by that pond without her jumping in. Just a little quick swim. They said, don't let her get wet for a couple of weeks. Okay, doctors, thank you. So I said, you go for a ride? On that mule, she goes, be careful, you got stitches, you can't jump around acting silly. We go through the gate, we ain't no more got going. I'm off there, she come running around me, and I'm stop, and in that water she went. Oh gosh, all them stitches will come apart. They didn't. But for a few days, I wouldn't take her in that direction because I knew she'd go to that pond. She loved that pond. And she'd make it a little quick swim. But that last time she went to the pond, it was like she knew She knew it was her last time. She stayed in the pond, and my video showed just round and around, wouldn't come out, just stayed in the pond. Toward the end, I'll say this, and I'm gonna close this off. I'll put these photos on the end of it. Toward the end, sometimes she'd go out and sit out there about where my tractor's at, or out even close to the beehive. She hated bees, and just stare at the house. Sit there. And I know she'd been out too long to potty. I'd come out and see where she's at. She'd be sitting there just looking. Reminded me of my dad when he was, and sometimes in the woods, we stopped back there in the woods, she'd just sit there and stare, taking it all in. Reminded me of my dad when he was, before he passed away, he had terminal cancer. He'd go out where he was raised, out there by the sanctuary, an old 5-gallon bucket, turn it upside down. He just sat on it. He didn't want no company. He didn't want anybody out there. He wanted to sit there and reminisce growing up here. And I think that's what she was doing. This was her home. This was her home, and she loved it. And I don't think she'd ever been as happy anywhere else as she was here. She loved the cats. She loved to chase them. But when they stopped, she stopped. She, you know, they stopped and stopped, and she just stopped right. It was a game over. You know, we're not going to run no more. Every cat here would lay down beside her, out there in the pavilion, or even in the house. They'd come by, she's on the couch, sleep. They's roaming or whatever. They make all their flopper and lay down beside her, go to sleep. Sleep on the bed beside her. She loved her cats. That's what got her hurt, trying to protect her cats from 2 old dogs that come up here. That's what they were doing, is chasing cats, trying to catch them. Anyway, I'm gonna put the photos on here, guys, and she's buried right here beside my pavilion, right at the back of it. It's one reason I didn't want to move my man cave or kitchen anywhere else. I need to be here. I love you guys. I'd ask you to enjoy. This has been kind of sad for me too, but I thought like I owed her some kind of a little tribute. She was my girl.